Hey everybody, what's up? I'm making my mom's recipe. This is her own recipe, her authentic recipe. She had to cook for a lot of people, as far as taking care of us kids and growing up, and she always put food on the table. Just get a shout out to where I'm coming from. I'm coming from Solano County. I was born and raised in Vacaville, 707, and I lived in Fairfield a part of my life also. And, I lived in the hood. I lived on Gable Street growing up. I lived on Brown Street. And we lived in some places when life was a little bit, rough. And, we came up and better our lives, but, it's a struggle out there for everybody, There's ups and downs, and I respect that. And, I'm totally humble. So this is a recipe that my mom came up with, and it only takes 6 ingredients, about very inexpensive, and it tastes so good, so long as it tastes good and you're feeding your family, it's all good. So I'm going to show you how she made it. I don't really eat fried foods, but when she made this, it was like a treat, and it does taste really good. So let's get into this. I have some leg quarters here. I kind of cut them in half myself. Long as you can find the joint, you could just like slice right through it. And we have some legs and thighs. So I'm going to show you how I season it. You're going to need this. This is the key ingredient, her secret. And I don't even know if it's a secret if people know about this. But this is the brand right here. This adobo is what's going to give you the flavor. And some other ingredients, but this right here is the one you need, not the one with the green cap, but this one right here. And first, you're going to start off by seasoning your chicken. And this has a lot of sodium in it, so you're not going to need to add salt right now. And as you could hear in the background, I have some chicken frying already, and it's almost finished. And I'm going to turn down the heat. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. And that's not the only ingredient you're going to add to it. And you're going to let it set for a minute and let that kind of melt down. And I'm over here turning my chicken. Because now it's starting to really, really fry. And this is not going to be your extra crispy chicken. Once again, this is not going to be your extra crispy chicken. It's going to be just, a fried chicken. And here's some cracked black pepper. And my mom actually had like a pepper grinder, but this is a grinding it the same way. She had like a little fancy one. You just turn it and it goes into a bucket. But that's my grinder. Anyways, we're going to use this. These are the seasonings that my mom actually used, the name brand, and it's from the Mexican aisle. You can find it in any grocery store. And this right here is the garlic powder. So the garlic powder is going to give it a garlicky taste, but you don't want too much because this is what will ruin it if you add too much. It's going to give it a bitter taste. So you want just a little bit, like probably a couple pinches right now at this point. And that's just one big pinch. We're going to add some onion powder, a little pinch, and of course I'm going to use my sea salt. My mom uses regular, but sorry mama, RIP, rest in peace, love you, but we're going to go with the sea salt for me, but you can do what you want. This is what I'm using right now. And then we're going to kind of just rub our chicken, and you could add it according to taste. If you feel it's not seasoned enough, do your thing. And I'm wearing gloves because chicken, salmonella, stuff like that. I always use it because when you wash your hands, especially when you're working with chicken and also your hamburger meat, it's good just to wear gloves so you don't have to scrub your hands because it's so greasy. So I have a bag here. This is already 1 cup, but I'm going to add another cup of just regular flour, all-purpose flour. And I don't think that's going to be enough, so I'm going to add maybe a half of this. So we got 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And right now I'm going to go ahead and add probably a tablespoon of, maybe a half of a tablespoon. I'm just going to eyeball it, but if you want to measure it, it's going to be a half of a tablespoon or maybe less of garlic powder because you don't want too much of that. With the onion powder, it's going to give you that sweetness. So I'm going to go ahead and add probably more than a tablespoon because I like my onion powder and so did my mama. And maybe a tiny bit more of that because that's where you're going to get your most taste from, your onion powder. And once again, you could get it in the Mexican aisle. I prefer this brand. I just love it. And I've been using it all my life, just like my mom. So, you know, that's how you cook, how you was taught. And then some adobe inside the flour mix. We're going to give it a good shake, but not too much because you don't want it too salty. And this has a lot of sodium in it. You're probably not going to have to add too much salt. This has a lot of sodium once again. So we're going to shake it in there. A good shake because this has a good pouring spout. So just eyeball it, and then we're going to shake this up. And I'm not going to add any salt to this right here. We're going to salt our chicken after it's out of the frying pan. So we're going to do some cracked black pepper. Once again, this is my grinder. And another thing my mom used a lot of is the white pepper. So she uses black pepper, but this has white and black, so that's a good thing. And you just want to kind of mix this up. Give that a good mix. And if you feel like it's not seasoned enough, go ahead and add whatever you want as far as these ingredients that I'm showing you. So I think that might be good right there because your chicken is going to be seasoned also. And pat dry your chicken. Make sure you rinse it and clean it really well underneath the skin and everything. And then you're going to pat it dry with a napkin. So please hold on real quick. I'm going to go ahead and come over here and check out what's going on with this stuff. Oh my goodness, you don't even want to see this. Oh yes you do. Oh yes you do. Okay, so I'm back. And yeah, so let's get this done. So I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to put my chicken in here and then I'm going to start doing this. I'm just going to make it as easy as possible. And then you're going to lift the skin up and then you want to put some of the mixture underneath the skin to where the skin lays on top of it. So see right here, here's your skin. Pull it up. You want that flour and that seasoning right on there too. And then you flip your skin back to where it belongs. And this is not no diet. This is just the treat. This is a treat once in a while. Once in a while, baby. Pull your skin back. Mix it. Then get it all over. Then you're going to lay this right here. And once again, make sure you thoroughly clean your chicken. And you're going to pat it dry, let it dry. Dry all the way. You don't want no moisture, no water. Get some good paper towels, set them on top, soak it up. Take the ones that are really, really hydrated with the liquid or water or whatever's on here, and then do it again. Then we're going to make sure we get everything coated well, and I'm making sure I get this on camera. I'm not really caring about my sleeves. This is a video for cooking. It's not for looking like a model or clothing line or looking all beautiful. We're cooking some chicken, okay? That's what's up. And that one looks good. And I've already got a batch in there inside the oil that you could hear in the background. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure. I always like to do it a second time just to make sure there's enough on here. And once again, it's not extra crispy chicken. This is just good fried chicken that tastes really good. And I'm also going to be uploading some side dishes. I know people love their yams and their sweet potatoes and their mashed potatoes. And I'm going to upload my mashed carrots for a side. And also some greens. I love sweet potatoes. I love, yams, but I came up with something because I love carrots, and it's smashed carrots, and you just need to try it. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And of course I'm gonna mop and I'm gonna clean after this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and take my gloves off. I'm gonna stick them in this bag right here. Easy cleanup so far, so good. Except for my clothes. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of the adobe in my hand because this has a big spout, and just sprinkle it on top. And then once again, no more garlic powder, but with the onion powder, I'm gonna put a little bit in my hand, sprinkle it on top. Little cracked black pepper. Then I'm going to give it another little whirl. It's not too bad because it's not wet, so I'm going to use my hands. And I'm going to set this right here, and I will be right back. All right, I will be right back. All right, this is the chicken that I'm currently cooking. This has been frying while I was showing you the other ingredients and how to actually batter your chicken. And this is actually at the right temperature. When you're frying chicken, you want to bring it to the high heat to where it's actually extremely high. And then after you put your chicken in, it's going to actually adjust the heat and it's going to bring it down. That's why you want an extremely hot, high temperature when you first add it in, because your chicken is going to be room temperature or maybe even colder than that, and it's going to make your oil kind of cool down. So you want it extremely hot. But once your chicken starts frying and it adjusts, you want to bring it to a medium heat, a low medium, and just let it bubble like this and fry it. And I actually went and bought these today, especially for this video, because I realized I didn't have nothing to fry with because I don't fry a lot of food. But this right here is looking extremely good, and it's looking perfect. Because I don't really fry a lot of food whatsoever. So this is almost done. You want to cook your chicken maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, but I usually go over that. God forgive me. But it's not going to be dry. It's in oil. These are legs and thighs. I like to make sure my chicken is thoroughly cooked. And I go over the 15 minutes that people recommend, and I do 25 to 30 because I adjust my heat. And you could do that as long as you get familiar with your stove and your heat. And if you want, buy yourself a thermometer. But I've been doing this like for a long time, helping my mom out cooking in the kitchen. Rest in peace, Mama. And I kind of learned, since I was probably like, 9 years old. Because I would have to help her out, but not frying the chicken. But when I was about 12 or 13, that's when she kind of let me start frying stuff. Now let's get the other chicken, because we're going to have to take that off the heat in a minute. And as you can see, I have a strainer right there. And then I also have a Tupperware or some type of, Tupperware that you could keep food in, because I'm actually making this for somebody else. I'm helping somebody out because they don't really cook much. They've been really busy and somebody actually isn't feeling well. So I'm helping some people out that are very dear to me, family, and I'm cooking them up some fried chicken because, help family out when they need it. So this is going to someone else. And I'm probably going to test some too, just to make sure it's good tonight. All right. So you want to go ahead and never move your chicken too much. This is my wok. I actually got it at Ross. Vacaville Ross, what's up? And I've been looking for a wok. They're expensive, especially in Walmart. I was like, I thought they'd be cheap, unless you want one that's going to fall apart. I bought one at Walmart for $5. It fell apart. I got this stainless steel one. I wanted to see how good it fries stuff and deep fries because it says it kind of equals out the heat, and it's working really, really good, so I'm really happy with it. So you don't want to move your chicken around too much, just every so often. And this right here is basically probably done, and I'm going to go ahead and add in my other chicken pretty soon here for you guys. And there's no buttermilk, there's no like dredging it in eggs. You don't need all that. This is going to be good, I'm telling you. And look forward to some of my side dishes for this and some other things too, because, you know, this is really good, budget friendly. But my mom used to actually cut up a whole chicken or have it cut for her by like the deli person and have the whole chicken. But I prefer this when I'm frying chicken, like legs and thighs, because it has more taste, and that's just my preference. Yeah, so this right here should be done. Let me make sure. Give it a couple turns. And I am loving this new pan. I don't know what company makes this or whatever, but this pan is amazing. I've cooked everything in it so far. Easy cleanup. This is like the best stainless steel wok ever. And it's not even the large wok. It's like a medium-sized wok. Okay, so I think I'm going to take this out now. And it's completely fried. It does have a light crispiness to it. Once again, like if you go to like Kentucky Fried Chicken, you got your extra crispy, your regular, which this is the regular. It's not going to be extra crispy, but it's going to taste really good. I'm just trying to make sure it's cooked. Let me check my timer. Okay, let's see here. Yep, it's done. Okay, so what I do is I take it out and I do this. I give it a good hold right there. Put it right here. This right here you want to grab by the drumstick because you don't want to disrupt any of the crispiness going on. It's going to be a light crispiness, but it's going to be darn good throughout the whole chicken. And you're just going to want to make sure you put it in this strainer before you put it over here on the paper towel. So let it strain, and then we're going to add the chicken that I showed you how to batter. And you're going to actually turn this up to high heat, because once again, your room temperature chicken is going to bring it down. It's going to bring your oil down in heat. So always make sure you adjust your heat. When you put your second batch in, you're going to bring it up, turn the flame on high, add your chicken. There you go. You want that bubble right there. Add your chicken. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Add that chicken. And you're going to put one over here too. You're going to kind of move it around right there. Boom. Let it boil a minute, because it's going to like do its thing, adjust itself. Right now, it's kind of like, what do I do, man? Something cold is up in this mother. No, I'm playing. No, but it's going to adjust right now. So right now, if it's still bubbling like that, that's when you bring it down to a medium heat, because it's all good. It's all good. It's staying hot. So you're like, okay, I could bring it down a bit. There we go. And then you're going to see the bubbles kind of decrease. So when that starts decreasing, bring it down low, let it decrease. And I'm going to show you kind of the boil as far as for the oil that you want. Excuse me. My mouth is watering and I'm like, this chicken looks good. Okay, so I got it down extremely low. Medium, like really medium low. So right there, see how it's starting to like slow down in the boil? You don't want it to get too slow. That's right there, that boil right there, that's too slow. So you're gonna bring your heat up a tiny bit and you should be good. Bring it up a tiny bit. You want to boil a little bit harder. And that's just like, for people that don't get into cooking, like as far as like all the stuff that makes it complicated. I'm just here to like, break it down to you. That boil right there is too low. If you don't have a thermometer, you're not all fancy with it, like I'm not. I was born and raised just how to fry some chicken by looking at the actual frying process and seeing it physically and like looking at it. That right there is perfect. See, it's getting a little bit harder. So this is like a medium, not low, but medium, just a real medium flame right there. So you want it on a medium flame. Like right in between. Like no medium low, no medium high. Right in the medium. And then you're going to let it set. And then you know what? You've got to test something too. So for me, my mom never liked this. She's just old school. Love you, mama. R.I.P. But this is some Crystal hot sauce, and we're going to test out some of this chicken right here. So right here, see how crispy that is? This right here is like perfect. And I'm going to put some hot sauce up on it and tell you how it tastes. This is how I do it. See, boom. Here we go. That is bomb. Okay, right now, it's been in there for a minute, so we're going to want to flip it. You don't want to disrupt it too much. Like, don't flip it too much. Just let it go. That's the thing right there. You don't want to flip it too much, but this is bomb. Bomb. Since when do I say bomb? Since right now. I don't know, should I just let this fry up and keep on recording? I think so. Because after this drains a little bit more, we're going to add it over here to our lined Tupperware. It's lined with some heavy duty paper towels so it doesn't break off on your food. And just let it drain first and then set it in there because it's going to keep it like nice and crispy when people want to rewarm it. All right, and then for your chicken, right when it gets out of the oil, some people like to salt it. Here, I'm going to go ahead and salt this. But my mom never did. But I do. So I went ahead and added some sea salt to this. I just topped it off with a little tiny bit of salt. You don't have to, because honestly, the chicken, exactly how I done it just now, is perfectly seasoned, and it didn't even need that. Okay, so now I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to stick it in my Tupperware. And I'm going to let it set on the paper towel. It's perfect. And I'm going to wait for the next batch. And then next time, I promise you, next video, I'm going to make you some side dishes for this that are amazing. And I do love me some yams, and I like sweet potatoes, but I came up with some type of smashed carrot. And instead of mashed potatoes, it's like mashed carrots, and it is so good. I think everybody in the world would love it. And it's just my thing, and I've never seen anybody do this before. So I'm going to actually upload that mashed carrots pretty soon here. And maybe some type of roux and gravy for this, because there is a roux in a gravy that my mom used to make, and I'm going to actually share that with you to go with some mashed potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and share some stuff, and this is just basically like my lifestyle and, you know, the things I enjoy once in a while. I don't really fry food at all. Ever since I was little, I never ate fried food, but this is the only thing that I would ever eat, basically, that was fried if my mom made it. But I actually don't like fried food. But this right here, I enjoyed it, and I do love it still to this day. And so that's just a little bit about me. Yeah, I came from like a family where my dad was a truck driver, and there was ups and downs because of seasonal stuff. Like, seasonal drivers actually drive seasonal, basically. And we would have like times where people thought we were rich, and then times where like we had our lows to where it was hard. But my mom always kept food on the table, and my dad always worked hard. And then, you know, we were just happy. We were always happy as kids, all of my family. And that's what I appreciate, because this just brings back like the goodness. And, you know, it kind of makes you happy. It's like, you know, it shows you that people teach you things to like share with other people, basically, and just take in the goodness, you know. So just always think positive, be motivated, and just remember the things you were taught, and it's all good. And share them with other people. Well, I hope you look forward to like having some good sides, and also I can make some catfish and some greens. I love the type of food that we enjoy in our family, and I just want to share it with other people. So this is basically my lifestyle. This is my life. Like, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy working out. I enjoy doing my music. Cooking isn't my main favorite thing to do, but when I eat, I want to make sure it's good. And I honestly don't eat a lot of fried foods whatsoever, but this is just my treat, my favorite thing. And whenever my mom made it, it's like, you know, I had to have a piece of chicken. And she would basically make it with like creamed peas and mashed potatoes. And that was like the perfect dinner for a treat. And I'd be like, I have to have some. So yeah, so I will cook it for my family, but I don't eat it all the time. I'll cook it once in a while. All right, I think it's almost done. See when it starts, and when you have it on a medium heat and it starts getting hot again like that, that's what you want, so don't get scared. Whoa. And also, whatever, oh my goodness. Let me put that up and rinse it in a minute. But whatever you have as far as for an oil, it's really bad for you. Canola oil and vegetable oil, they're not that good. Let me rinse these. Okay. But if you have like an extra virgin olive oil, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I was chewing on some chicken. I'm sorry. I'm test driving it. But anyways, if you have like extra virgin olive oil that could be cooked at a high heat, use that, or anything else but canola or vegetable. But right now I'm using vegetable oil, which I never use ever because I don't even fry food that often, maybe once a year. But you know, whatever oil you could use as far as, you know, for frying, go for it. So we're going to give it a good twist. Now you can just kind of twist it around and do what you want. You could do whatever you want right now. Twist it up, get it all moved in the oil. It's good to go. Because I actually really honestly never ate fried foods. My mom even knows since I was growing up as a kid. I never liked the greasiness. Like, I don't know why. It's weird. But this right here is the only thing that I ever liked. So this is a treat. Whatever oil I need to fry it, I'll do it because it's not an everyday thing for me. And it shouldn't be for anybody. So, you know, just live a healthy lifestyle, eat in moderation, and you're all good. And this is like a treat, and it's really good, so try it out. And there we go. And this was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this because this is about done. It's been about maybe 15 minutes so far. Maybe not, but I'm just making sure it's fully cooked.